Shalom, Most High in Christ. Bless. Again. Everybody doing well? All praises to the Most High. We back with another class. All praises. Another chance for us to get fed with the word. So today's class, let's put it back up. Put it back up. Soldier Joshua, if you could read that, sir.
Yes, sir. Porn destroys women too.
So, yes, the sisters need a class because the thought may be, well, that's just brothers' problem. Brothers just deal with that. That's just this side of the room.
Hell no.
BT on point. Took the words right out my mouth. So today's class is going to be for the sisters because, like I've said before in previous classes, the same spirits men battle, women battle. Lord's will, this class, help you sisters leave that stuff alone. Because just like brothers have heard in all the classes that they have, is going to lead you somewhere you don't want to be. 1 Peter 3, verse 7.
The book of 1 Peter, chapter 3 and verse 7.
Read.
Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife, as unto the weaker vessel.
As unto the what?
As unto the weaker vessel.
As unto the what?
As unto the weaker vessel.
Now, usually when we go to this verse, we talking to men about how to treat their wife, teach their wife, and be reminded that she is the weaker vessel. But I wonder, do the women understand that? You are the weaker vessel, meaning things can easily affect you more than him. Things can easily corrupt you more than him. But I don't think sisters look at that. Usually when this verse is read, it's to the married man or the man aspiring to be married. Read on, we can finish it out.
And as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered.
But remember why we went there. Men have to understand that the woman is the weaker vessel. But sisters, you have to understand that you're the weaker vessel. Things can easily attack you than it does him. From there, Sirach 25 and 24. And I want to start off explaining this before we go even deeper. Sirach 25 and 24.
The book of Sirach, chapter 25, verse 24.
Read.
Of the woman came the beginning of sin.
Of the woman became the beginning of sin. Read.
And through her we all die.
Now, real quick. Prophets. Let me hear from one of y'all. Let me hear from Nazir. What is that verse saying? Is it just saying the woman is the cause of everything? Because I know it's a sister probably thinking that. Oh, it said the woman was the beginning of sin. What is that saying? Real quick.
Nah, it's actually making reference to 1 Timothy, how she went into it and then brung Adam into what she already had been deceived by.
Wait, what you say?
She brung Adam into what she already had been deceived by.
What she already had what?
Been deceived by.
So she got deceived.
Right.
She was the person who was attacked and deceived.
As the weaker vessel, right, like you was just saying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Satan came to the woman first. What did 1 Peter say? You are the weaker vessel. You got to understand that, sisters. Read that one more time.
Verse 24. Of the woman came the beginning of sin. And through her we all die.
Satan didn't come to Adam first. He came to Eve first. From there, 1 Timothy 2 and 14. I pray sisters really take note and soak this in. Because this is going to tie in to what we're talking about. We have to set the stage first. We got to build before we get deeper into this. Because you got to understand that, sisters. Brothers have a multitude of classes, but we need a class like this for the sisters.
Right.
Because it's a problem. And as the prophets of the Lord, we got to touch on the problems that's going on. And you're going to find out something shocking tonight. When you hear porn addiction, porn watching, you look at this side of the room. This side of the room, the poster child for everything. But tonight, you're going to find out that is not the case. 1 Timothy 2, verse 14.
The book of 1 Timothy, chapter 2, verse 14.
Read.
And Adam was not deceived. But the woman being deceived was in the transgression.
Read that part again.
But the woman being deceived was in the transgression.
So, prophet, when he is explaining the verse, this is exactly what you just said. The woman was attacked first. Satan entered in through who? The woman. Because why? She's the weaker vessel. Again, sisters, you got to understand that. 2 Corinthians 11:3.
The book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 11, verse 3.
Read.
But I fear, lest by any means, as the serpent beguiled Eve.
Wait a minute. He did what?
As the serpent beguiled Eve.
What does beguile mean? You could all say it at once. Trick. The serpent, Satan, tricked who?
The serpent
Eve.
beguiled Eve.
Eve. He didn't go to Adam first. He went to Eve first. Read on.
Through his subtlety.
Through his what?
Through his subtlety.
Through his subtlety, his craftiness, his being slick. Read.
So your mind should be corrupted from the simplicity that is in Christ.
We don't want our minds to be corrupted from the simplicity of Christ. Everything outside these doors will corrupt your mind. Every time you turn on TV, it's something lustful. It's something sexual. Like I was looking at one time, it was a commercial for cologne. Why is that sexual? It's cologne. You finna take the damn cologne and walk out the door. Why do it gotta be? It's a scene of some dude getting out the pool. Then it switch over, and then it's a woman. She getting undressed. It's cologne. Or it's a cheeseburger, a Burger King commercial. She washing the car with some skimpy clothes on. You're promoting a cheeseburger. What that got to do with a cheeseburger? Right. Everything out here is set up to corrupt us, and we all got to understand that. From there, we finish that up?
Yes, sir.
1 Peter 5, verse 8. Again, we heard this scripture before, but I want our sisters, because today is their day, to think of it in a different way. I'm going to explain what I mean in a minute.
The book of 1 Peter, chapter 5, verse 8.
Read.
Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour.
Hey, man, every time this read, it's a class for the brothers. Hey, brother, you got to be strong. Sisters think Satan don't lurk for them. What world you living in? You think Satan ain't trying to destroy you too? Right. It ain't just him. He want to destroy you too. Satan knows you the weaker vessel. That's already been established. It's already been shown. So why we playing? Why are we setting ourselves up for failure? Why are we trying to scratch old itches by watching porn? That makes no sense. Read it again.
Verse 8, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour.
Just like a lion is crouching down, hiding on the plain of Africa or in the jungle somewhere, waiting to kill that gazelle that stray away, waiting to kill that zebra that strays away. Satan is lurking just like that to destroy you. But we tell ourselves, it's just a video. It's not bad. I'm not hurting nobody. I didn't actually sin. But all you doing is creating a bridge for Satan to enter your soul. That's all you doing. From there, let's get Article 1. Do women suffer from porn addiction? I know, we thought it was just the brothers. We thought it was just the brothers.
Hell no.
Hey, that sound bite is very befitting. Let's go. Article 1.
Birch's Health. Do women suffer from porn addiction?
We think it's just brothers. Huh. Let's see. Read.
Most people associate porn addiction with men. However, there's been a growing number of women who suffer from porn addiction.
Soldier, please read that again. They think you typed this up, or maybe I paid somebody or something. Read that again. This was put together by people who do journalism, study statistics. We think it's just men. Read that again.
Most people associate porn addiction with men.
Uh-huh.
However, there's been a growing number of women.
Of who?
Of women.
Of who?
Of women.
Of who?
Of women who suffer from porn addiction.
I know. We thought it was just men. We thought it was just men that have this problem. But some women have that problem. Some sisters have that problem. Read.
Whether you're a man or a woman, it's natural to have a curiosity for porn.
No, it's not. You know how we get this curiosity? Getting our minds corrupted in this world. I'm going to say it again. I think I said it in the class before. If you hit the corner and you was crossing the alley and you turned and saw some people having sex, you wouldn't stand there and touch yourself. You would say ew. You would walk away. You would run away. But you do the same thing when you at home and you're lonesome. You're watching two people lay together. We're going to get there. I don't want to jump the gun because I want to point out it's a spirit you sisters are entertaining. Read on.
It develops into an addiction when it becomes a routine that's hard to quit.
Read that one more time.
It develops into an addiction when it becomes a routine that's hard to quit.
So the same way a crack addict first smoked that first rock, it becomes a routine that's hard to quit. That's why some people, you have been watching porn since you were children, as quiet as it's kept. You don't want to let nobody see your phone, brothers or sisters, because you watch stuff you're not supposed to. Again, we think it's just men. Read on.
Porn addiction doesn't have obvious signs like other behavioral addictions.
Right, you can't look at somebody and tell. You can look and tell if somebody's an addict. They rock, they nod off while you talking to them. They losing weight. You can see little things with regular drugs. You can see that. Read on.
It can be hard to tell if someone suffers from a porn addiction since it's easy to hide.
Since it's what?
Since it's easy to hide.
Last time I checked, brothers, who hides things better, men or women? Women. Women. So if women in the world hide that they're having an affair or they're cheating, you don't think a woman can hide porn? Remember, the man is the poster child. You hear porn addiction, they got a man face right there on the billboard. But you just heard there's a growing number of women with porn addiction. Read on.
Addicts spend several hours on adult websites.
Wait a minute, what?
Addicts spend several hours on adult websites.
Several hours. That's time at a damn job. They putting in job hours on the website. And again, this article is about who? Women. Women. Read.
Porn becomes a serious problem when it interferes with their life.
Porn becomes a serious problem when it interferes with your life. And it will. Like, it's a gathering, but you make up an excuse to why you can't come, but you really at home by yourself. What? Doing what? Watching porn. Let's read this.
Social biases towards women versus men.
Oh, so there's social biases. Let's see. Read.
Both men and women can be addicted to porn.
Okay, read.
Yet, there's still a double standard.
Mm-hmm.
It's more socially acceptable for men to look at porn.
Mm-hmm.
They're more expected to be sexual, while women are expected to be demure.
That's true. Read.
Another sign of this social bias is the lack of research on women who are addicted to pornography.
I know, hey, that's so true, but you're going to find out tonight that there's a lot of research on this. There's a lot of information on this. Contrary to what we think, contrary to what we believe, and we got to talk about it because it's a problem. From there, let's jump down. Pornography impacts women in different ways than men.
Pornography impacts women in different ways than men.
Read.
Studies show that pornography negatively impacts women differently from men.
Can we read this again? Because people think that just watching a video does not hurt them. Read it again.
Studies show that pornography negatively impacts women differently from men.
It didn't say positive. It says negatively. Read.
Women who watch porn are more likely to have a body image issues and unrealistic expectations about sex.
That's what happens when you watch pornography. Outside of that, it perverts your mind. Read.
They might feel more pressured to perform pornographic acts.
Read on.
Women are also more likely to accept domestic violence, sexual assault, rape, and marital rape.
Why? Because their minds get perverted from watching the videos. Because you're going to see it's women who watch some sick stuff. Stuff that you think, oh, that's just men. No. The reason why the women will accept it because they watching porn that shows all that stuff. And if you sisters in here watching it, it's going to start corrupting you. Read on.
The negative effects of porn combined with the stigmas increase feelings of guilt and shame.
Because that's disgusting. You shouldn't be even involving yourself in that. That's not something you would tell somebody. Somebody say what your hobby is. You ain't going to turn and say, well, yeah, you know, I watch. You ain't going to do that. You ain't going to do that. It's shameful and embarrassing. Read.
Guilt and shame are a result of this addiction.
Are what?
Are a result of this addiction.
They're a result of this porn addiction. Like I said, that's not something you're going to share with somebody. Read on.
Women might struggle to admit they need help. This causes them to hide their addiction from their friends, family, or partners.
Remember what it said at the top. It said women are supposed to be demure. They're supposed to be elegant. They're supposed to be righteous. They're supposed to be clean, pure, all these things. So a woman having this problem is shameful or it's frowned upon. So you want to keep it to yourself. But when you keep it to yourself, you're hurting yourself. Drop that. 1 Corinthians 10, verse 12. And we gonna see in a minute what women are watching. You will be shocked and amazed at this. 1 Corinthians 10, verse 12.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 10, verse 12.
Read.
Wherefore, let him that thinketh he standeth take heed lest he fall.
Read that again.
Wherefore, let him that thinketh he standeth take heed lest he fall.
Why we go there? Some of you may hear what's coming out and you say, oh, that'll never be me. That's a foolish thing to say. You let your guards down, you stop praying, you stop fasting, you stop surrounding yourself with people that keep the commandments. Give it time. If Satan got Eve, sisters, what make you think he won't get you? Like I said, the brothers got 100 classes. This your class. You keep thinking porn is not harmful. We're going to show you it's harmful tonight. And you can be the next one Satan jump on. Understand that. Proverbs 6, verse 27. Take heed. You think you standing, you better examine yourself. You better stop being prideful. You better stop lying to yourself saying, oh, ain't nothing going to happen to me.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 6, verse 27.
We're going to read 28 too. Read.
Can a man take fire in his bosom and his clothes not be burned?
That's a rhetorical question. Nobody can take fire, something that's burning with fire, and put it in their chest and not be burned. Read.
Can one go upon hot coals and his feet not be burned?
You see them silly Elamites, East Indians walking on hot coals. You not going to walk on hot coals and your feet not be burned. So in the context of the class, you are not going to continue to tamper with porn, and you're not going to get corrupted. You're not going to start having perverted thoughts. Oh, it's just sex. You know, I'm burning. I'm single. And no, you're going to become perverted. You're going to become lewd. From there, get 2 Ezra 16 and 67. We got to stop playing with sin. You even just being in this truth, you see people fall out left and right, and you think for one moment that you can't fall. You out of your mind. You're lying to yourself. You delusional. And you playing with the number one thing that be the root of sexual sin. They start watching porn, and then they get tired of the porn, and they want to act out what they watching. That's the pathway. And we can't keep being foolish and going down the same path and telling ourselves it's just a video. Do not people think drill music is just music, but people killing each other? Let's wake up. Let's stop being simple. 2 Ezra 16 and 67.
The book of 2 Ezra, chapter 16, verse 67.
Read.
Behold, God himself is the judge. Fear him. Leave off from your sins.
Do what?
Leave off from your sins.
Do what?
Leave off from your sins.
You got to cut that thing off. Sister, if you need a flip phone, get a flip phone. If you need to put a lock on your laptop, put a lock on your laptop. Same thing we tell the brothers. If this is your struggle, sisters, you need to make sure you're around sisters. You're not in the house by yourself. Same thing for brothers. A brother could get a call, hey, bro, we finna go play basketball. You make up a dumb excuse not to go play ball so you could be by yourself with your phone. That don't make no sense. You got to know yourself. You know what? It's not good for me to be alone. I'm going to get on this phone, watch something I'm not supposed to. Okay, you need to be around people. We got the Tuesday class. Come to the Tuesday class. You ain't going to think about pulling out no phone at the Tuesday class. You ain't going to think about that at New Moon, a Unity Day. We having a barbecue. But if you at home by yourself, you will. Read.
Leave off from your sins and forget your iniquities.
We got to forget our sins. We got to leave them alone. Read.
To meddle no more with them forever.
You meddle with your sin when you watch that little nasty video from time to time. You might say, well, I ain't an avid porn watcher, but, you know, every now and then. No, sister, you're meddling. The brothers know that that's meddling. We got 100 classes for them. We talking to the sisters tonight. You meddling when you watch that porn. I'm not doing nothing. I didn't lay with nobody, but you still scratching that itch. You still messing with it, still dipping your finger in there every now and then. I ain't go all the way in. I didn't leave the house, but I'm going to watch something. You still meddling with it. That's like somebody, they say, I don't smoke crack, but you still in contact with the people you used to smoke crack with. How long before you relapse? Wake up. Read on.
So shall God lead you forth and deliver you from all trouble.
You leave off from your sin, and God will deliver you from all trouble. Who want to be delivered? That's all of us in here. But we're not going to get delivered if we are tied to our sin. Is the porn more important than God? I'm going to tell you something. Think about that. Every time you choose to watch that porn, you saying, God, right now, your laws and commandments, I got to sit that to the side. This video is more important to me. I know you don't want me watching that, but I have to watch this. You'll understand. That's what you're telling God. From there, get Article 2. We're going to touch a point in this. Here's some scripts. Then we got another article, and then we got to get to that video because we need to see this is a real issue, contrary to what we think. Let's read that.
The real effect of porn on women.
Another article. Let's read.
When I saw porn for the first time at 11. I was convinced I was
Wait a minute. At what age?
For the first time at 11.
You're going to find out it's women who was watching that at a way younger age. Women, I know we think it's just men. No, read.
I was convinced I was the only kid in the world who had stumbled upon it. My curiosity to find more was trumped only by my lack of access. A few months later, I heard a word on the playground and figured it was sexual because boys were laughing about it. Determined to get in on the joke, I borrowed my dad's dictionary to try to understand it. The clinical dictionary definition left me disappointed, and when my dad asked what word I looked up, I lied with a blush on my face and claimed I forgot.
Okay, from there, that's the usual. You know, especially little boys. They don't want to seem like they uncool. They don't want to seem like they lame. If this is what the other little boy is looking at, I'm going to look at it. Let's jump down to where it says porn changes expectations. Let's jump down.
Porn changes expectations. I've had several young women tell me about the vile and violent things boyfriends and husbands, both Christian and non-Christian, have requested or demanded of them. Their preferences mirror what they've seen in porn. Junior high girls are asking the question, can I still be popular if I refuse to have porn star sex? One mom, in tears, told us her 14-year-old daughter had been asked by several guys in her class for naked pictures of herself, which then get traded between boys during recess.
That's unfortunate, but these things happen. Why y'all think them little boys asking for pictures? Because of pornography. How did they mind get so perverted? Pornography. From there, let's jump down to porn can result in addiction.
Porn can result in addiction.
Read on.
There's a false assumption that porn use and addiction is a men's issue.
That's the false assumption. That's the false narrative. It's a men's issue. Read.
Leaving women to struggle in silence. While accountability and recovery groups for men abound, safe spaces for women to talk about their porn addictions are essentially non-existent.
It's not many groups and places for sisters, for women in general, but women struggle with this. They have places for men. They don't have places for women. So if some of you sisters are struggling with that, you got to get help, for this stuff corrupt you. Read.
The fact is that the sexual templates of both boys and girls are increasingly based on porn.
What people assume sex is like, what they assume or what they think a beautiful body is supposed to be is based on porn. Read.
Girls are being turned on by sexual violence. Colette, a 23-year-old wife and mom of 2 kids who is overcoming a porn addiction.
She's what?
Overcoming a porn addiction.
A wife, a mother and a wife got a porn addiction. We think it's just men. Read.
Told me that her addiction began with romantic softcore porn. But gradually morphed into a desire for violent, degrading acts.
Read that one more time, because people say it's just videos.
You told me that her addiction began with romantic softcore porn.
And then?
But gradually morphed into a desire for violent, degrading acts.
So, did she stop at one type of little video, or did she move? She kept progressing. She went from one type of video to another type of video to violent and degrading acts. This is a woman. That's what that porn will do to you, brothers and sisters. The brothers know. It's the sisters that is seen to be clueless or think it won't hurt them the same way. This is a wife who had a porn addiction. You could drop this. Read Matthew 12:43. Matthew 12 and 43. and you think you watching some violent, degrading acts on a video, you think it's not going to cause you to want to, what am I trying to say? Act that out. Keep watching that stuff. You're going to get tired of watching it. It's just like everything else. Read.
The book of Matthew, chapter 12, verse 43.
Read.
When the unclean spirit is gone out of a man, he walketh through dry places, seeking rest.
When you came into this truth, that unclean spirit that held you down, you was able to break away from that thing when you came into this truth, because the laws of God was being told to you. The Spirit of Christ was coming into you. Now you hearing the word, you trying to apply the word, you was able to break off that thing. You might have been a whore. You might have been that wild girl, the hot girl. So that spirit backed away from you because you started intaking God's laws. Read.
When the unclean spirit is gone out of a man, he walketh through dry places, seeking rest.
That spirit is looking for a home to inhabit, but it can't find a home. So what does it do?
Seeking rest, and findeth none.
Read.
Then he saith, I will return into my house from whence I came out.
I'm going to return to the sister who I used to rule. I used to have dominion in her body. I used to control her. That's what the demon's saying. So if the demon come back, and then what's this that the demon see? Read.
And when he is come, he findeth it empty, swept, and garnished.
One of you prophets, when it says empty, swept, and garnished, what is that saying? Say it again. Christ isn't there. No more studying, no more fasting. So the demon says, oh, Christ ain't in here. I can come back and take control of this woman again. Read.
Verse 45. Then goeth he and taketh with himself 7 other spirits.
So the demon leave, but the demon come back and bring 7 other spirits. Stuff that you never thought you would do. Now that demon come and bring that stuff in your mind. Now you having thoughts about doing things that are just out of this world, filthy. Why? Christ is not in there. You're not meditating on the word no more. You are lowering your defenses by watching porn. Warning. That's a warning. Article 3. That's 45. That was the whole verse 45?
No, sir.
Let's finish that up. Then we're going to get Article 3.
Then
get video 1 ready.
Then goeth he and taketh with himself 7 other spirits more wicked than himself.
Then what happened?
And they enter in and dwell there. And the last state of that man is worse than the first.
The last state, we talking to the sisters tonight, of that woman is worse than the first. When them demons come back, you become worse than what you was when you first heard the scriptures. From there, drop that. Article 3.
How porn hurts men and women.
Read that again.
How porn hurts men and women.
How porn hurts men and women. From there, read the pornography industry.
The pornography industry has made great strides in leading the American public to believe that there is nothing wrong with porn and that it can actually be good for relationships.
That's y'all on point. Because that's a lie. That's what they say. Read on.
The pornography industry has renamed itself the adult entertainment industry.
Come on, man. Read.
To make it more acceptable to the public.
If it was acceptable from beginning, they wouldn't have to change their name.
Right.
But they're changing their name from what it really is. It's filthy. It's vile. They trying to make it socially accepted. Read.
Thus, many people view their pornography use as simply engaging in entertainment.
That's what you tell yourself. You lie to yourself. It's not that bad. Read.
They are unaware of how pornography use can damage their marriages,
Hold on, let's read this slow, soldier. We got to make sure they understand what this porn is going to do to them if they don't leave it alone. Go ahead.
They are unaware of how pornography use can damage their marriages,
families, careers,
as well as themselves.
As well as yourself. That's what that porn going to do. It's going to destroy you. You don't have to listen. You can learn the hard way. You're going to see how perverted your mind get if you don't stop watching that stuff. From there, let's jump down. What many don't understand. Let's read that.
What many people don't understand is that pornography is an addictive substance.
Wait a minute.
Read that again.
Please. What Cap said. Read it again.
What many people don't understand is that pornography is an addictive substance.
It's a what?
An addictive substance.
If it wasn't addictive, if it was harmless, you wouldn't see articles and research showing men and women with porn addictions.
Right.
This is harmful. Read.
We now have neuroscientific evidence that shows how pornography is just as addictive as a narcotic.
Come on, man. Pornography is just as addictive as a narcotic. They didn't went and got white man science for you to show you that that's harmful to you. So if you still watching it after this, sisters, because today is your day, you just rebellious. You are saying you are choosing the pornography over God. If you still watch it after this, after the many classes, many lessons,
you got the devil on you.
That's it. What Bishop said, you got the devil on you. Read on.
Of course, the pornography industry would never admit to this. This is explained more fully in the section entitled The Addictiveness of Porn.
Okay, from there. Let's move to, as the addiction progresses and a greater tolerance develops. Let's read that, and then we're going to drop that and get these videos. Read.
As the addiction progresses and a greater tolerance develops.
Stop right there. Brothers and sisters, did not it say the wife was watching softcore porn? Then she started watching hardcore porn. Then she started watching degrading acts. Didn't it say she progressed from the videos she was watching? Read this.
As the addiction progresses and a greater tolerance develops, addicted people will turn to more extreme forms of pornography.
That means the stuff that you was watching when you first started out, it's not turning you on no more. It's not exciting you no more. So you have to find something else to scratch the itch. That's why drug addicts, the first time they get high, if you watch an interview on it, they say it felt so good, they just couldn't stop. So all they doing is trying to chase that first feeling that they had. That's what you doing with that porn. And all it's going to do is take you down a rabbit hole you don't want to go. Read on.
This includes hardcore, violent, and highly deviant forms of pornography.
Highly deviant, that means things that are unseemly, things that are strange. That's what's going to happen when you watch that stuff because your tolerance is getting lower. Read.
Forms of pornography that men and women once found repulsive are now the only forms that can arouse them.
So something as disgusting as something with an animal, that's what arouses you now because you've been through the ringer of all the videos. Do y'all understand that? That's what's going to happen to you. The regular, what's deemed as regular does not do it for you no more, so you got to find something more extreme. Read.
Some people will even turn to child porn.
Will turn to what?
To child porn.
Remember, we talking to the sisters tonight. You sisters better leave that porn alone. Read.
And if caught, they can be convicted and sent to prison.
If they find that stuff on your person, you are in trouble. Well, hey, what Muhammad Ali used to tell people he's finna fight, he used to say, you are in trouble. You are in trouble, sister. You get caught with that stuff on your phone, on your laptop. This is a warning. Drop that. Let's get video 1. Better leave that stuff alone. And right now, somebody like, I would never watch that. Keep watching the porn and see what happens. It's not going to fulfill your appetite no more. You're going to have to watch something that's more disgusting than what you already watching. Keep watching it. Video 1.
I watch porn, yes, and my most...
Hold on, take it back, take it back, take it back. We can't see the title, can we? Because I know it's different. I'll read the title. Title of this video is 11 Women Reveal What Kind of Porn They Watch. Press play.
I watch porn, yes, and my most common search term would be lesbians, tripping, or teens.
Stop. She said her most common porn she watches is women with women. And I don't know what that other stuff is. She said teens. I don't know what that is. She said that's her most common porn. She said teens. Keep going.
I watch porn, yes, and my most common search term would be lesbians, tripping.
Wait, stop. She said her most common search term. So this is what she boop, 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 boop in her phone and in her computer. She loved to search these 2 types. Play on.
Or teens.
I don't know, I feel like I've searched for everything. There's not like a go-to. I'm like pretty vanilla in my porn proclivities.
I usually like interracial.
So, wait, I don't want to keep stopping it. She said she don't have a certain thing she like to search. She's pretty vanilla in her searches. That means she watch anything. Did y'all hear that? She's saying she watch anything. She don't have a go-to. She watch anything. That's what that means. Play.
I feel like I've searched for everything. There's not like a go-to. I'm like pretty vanilla in my porn proclivities.
I usually like interracial. And then I may look at girl on girl or guy on guy.
It's really weird, but I'm
trying not to stop it, y'all. Do y'all hear this? Do y'all see this? She said first she was watching interracial, then 2 women, then 2 men. For what? How did she get there? Your tolerance lowers, and then whatever you was watching at first ain't doing it for you no more. This is women. We think it's just a man problem. No, it's a problem with women too. Press play.
Interracial. And then I may look at girl on girl or guy on guy.
It's really weird, but I'm really into the groping on the bus stuff. I can't get into it.
That's that deviant stuff. Why do you want to watch somebody get groped? That's where porn will take you. Press play.
Bus stuff. I can't get into it. I just get turned off. Really, I do.
It's serving towards like a male fantasy. Most porn is. And I feel like that's not what I'm into.
I don't really search stuff. I just watch what's there. But if I do search, then probably like outdoors.
Group sex or lesbian?
Stop. She talking about outdoors. This where this stuff take your mind. Your mind will become perverted. Listen, let it play. Because it's short. Let it play.
There, but if I do search, then probably like outdoors.
Group sex or lesbian sex?
Do y'all hear this? Play.
It's probably like the sensual stuff. Like, I don't know, like there's some that are like HD and it's like all about the girl.
She want her stuff high definition.
Done. And then, you know, he's got all these rhythms in it. It's like, you know what I mean? They're attractive and there's like a dance going on with it. It's like some passion involved.
It's really, really rare, but if it is, I'd actually rather watch like, is it GIF or GIF? I don't know, it's GIF.
So, I don't even want to ask. She say she rather watch GIFs. You know, we be posting GIFs. Sisters, y'all be posting GIFs. She want to watch GIFs with porn in it. Huh? Press play.
Passion involved.
It's really, really rare, but if it is, I'd actually rather watch like is it GIF or GIF? I don't know, it's GIF. And it's like 3 seconds. I'd rather see that than like the full lesbian porn, but there's fake fingernails and it's just very dramatic, and so there's nothing to represent my community accurately that way.
You could drop it. Do we still think that this is a man problem only?
Hell no.
We see it ain't. From there, get Wisdom of Solomon 4 verse 12. And I'm going to tell you, I bet you they be saying some weird stuff when people talk to them because their minds is perverted.
The Book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 4, verse 12. For the bewitching of naughtiness doth obscure things that are honest.
So naughtiness or wickedness will obscure things that are honest. You constantly feeding your spirit with evil, things that you look at that you was able to tell were wicked, were evil. That's disgusting. I'm not doing that. I'm not looking at that. You constantly putting that in front of your face is going to obscure things. Now, it's not that bad. You know, it's just a video. But we're hearing that porn addiction destroys your brain. It has your mind all messed up. You hearing how what perverted videos women are into from porn addiction. Read on.
And the wandering of concupiscence doth undermine the simple mind.
That wandering of concupiscence, you entertaining evil sexual desires in them videos, is going to do what?
Undermine the simple mind.
It's going to undermine the simple mind. That's us in here. It's going to undermine your mind. The righteous things in you is going to undermine that. Now you're desensitized. Now you don't see anything wrong with something that's vile and disgusting.
You got the devil on you.
Facts. From there, Wisdom of Solomon 9-14.
The Book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 9, verse 14. For the thoughts of mortal men are miserable, and our devices are but uncertain.
So it said the thoughts of mortal man are miserable, and our devices are but uncertain. Read on.
For the corruptible body,
this fleshly body,
presseth down the soul.
This fleshly body presses down the soul, because we battle different things. We battle different demons. And all of that we battle, all of that's in this flesh, it presses down on our soul. Read.
And the earthly tabernacle.
Still talking about your body. That's the earthly tabernacle. Read.
Weigheth down the mind that museth upon many things.
When it says museth, that means entertain. Your mind entertains many things. When you watch porn, your mind is wandering into things that it never would have had you not watched that stuff. That's why you hear them women, they just freely talking like, no, that's not okay to talk about. Why do you like watching that? Something wrong with you. But if you keep watching it, this is what it will do to you. It will weigh down your soul. It will corrupt you. Now it's coming out in your speech. From there, let's get Article 3.
Pornography and the harmful effects it has on women.
I'm sorry, that was 4. Appreciate y'all. Go ahead.
Porn used to be a taboo topic. People may have felt shame in admitting they watched porn or participated in it. However, there has been a shift in people's view on pornography. For some, porn is viewed as an empowering sentiment made for women to take control of their sexuality. According to Pornhub's 2021 annual statistics review revealed that worldwide, 32% of porn viewers were women.
Were who?
Were women.
Were who?
Were women.
Again, we think it's a man problem. Let's jump down. Read. While this may be true for some.
While this may be true for some, people fail to realize the harmful effects the porn industry has on women. The porn industry is a breeding ground for causing poor mental health in women and depicting unrealistic body standards. According to a scholarly article, women's problematic pornography viewing related to body image or relationship satisfaction, sexual addiction, and compulsivity.
Okay, from there, jump down to where it says there are substantial issues pornography has on young girls' view on sex. Read that part.
There are substantial issues pornography has on a young girl's view on sex.
Read on.
In the U.S., 62% of girls before the ages of 18 are exposed to porn. Bevel and Associates Professional Forensic Counseling reported.
So we can't run past that. It says 62% of young girls are exposed to porn. That's a problem that we got. That's why we talking about it. We got to fix that issue, or we going to become what? Corrupt and perverted. Drop that. Job 34 and 32. Don't lie to yourself and say, oh, I'm not doing nothing that bad. It don't really need to be spoken on. You hearing right now how bad it is, how much of a detriment it is to have that as something you struggle with. You got to get over that. It's not okay. It's not something you can just do on the side. How you saying you love the Lord, but you watching something that he don't approve of? Make it make sense. Job 34, verse 32.
The book of Job, chapter 34, verse 32. That which I see not, teach thou me.
So you should want somebody to point something out to you that you don't see. You need to be shown what you are doing that is not right so you can stop, so you can change. Read.
If I have done iniquity, I will do no more.
So you need to be shown that your ways are not right so you don't do those things no more. That makes sense, everybody? You need somebody to show you, hey, that's wrong. Don't do that. Damn, I didn't know that. Let me fix it. Tonight we are learning watching porn is wrong. You cannot do that. You're destroying yourself. You're corrupting yourself. Leave that stuff alone before it perverts you. From there, Job 6 and 24. And Lord's will, we could get to that last video. BT, I need that last video. Because some sisters play with that thing. We ain't going to, I'm just saying, have it ready with that timestamp. Because sisters like to play with that. They think porn ain't that serious. Job 6 and 24.
The book of Job, chapter 6, verse 24. Teach me, and I will hold my tongue.
That's something we got to learn. Israel got a problem with that. No, but you don't. Shut your mouth. Be quiet. Read that again.
Teach me, and I will hold my tongue.
Read.
And cause me to understand wherein I have erred.
I have to know where I'm going off. I have to know where I'm falling short so I can fix it. Tonight you're learning where you're falling short so you can fix it. Hold your tongue. Listen to what's coming out. If this is your issue, you got to cut that stuff off or it's going to destroy you, period. From there, let's get video 2. Now, video 2 is a video of a music artist. I'm going to show you her when she first was coming out, and then I'm going to show you her after being in the industry. Some of y'all probably knew about her, listened to her. This is the artist SZA. So listen to her upbringing. Press play. What's going on? We froze, y'all. So her name is SZA, and she's explaining where she got her name from. I want y'all to hear this, and then we're going to see her now. And that's why our people that be in that industry, they be exposed to a lot of stuff. Press play. So I know we got a little issue in the video. She said she was raised Muslim. Keep that in mind. She was raised Muslim. We know Islam ain't the way for our people, but she was raised Muslim. Usually when you see our people, even though that ain't the right way, they move with a sense of respect, so to speak. No sound, y'all. If it's glitching, we could drop it. Now, everybody heard that little piece, right? She say, I was raised Orthodox Muslim. Okay, let's just go to her now. Let's get video 3. That was video 2. Let's get video 3. Let's make sure we got sound for this. This is one of her songs. This is now. This is in the now. Let's hear what she's singing about. That was her upbringing. Y'all saw how her hair was and how she was back then. I think that was, 2013 or something like that? Now we're going to see the now. Press play. Let's make sure we got sound. She's explaining one of the lyrics in her songs. Press play.
I get personal, baby. I love all my ladies. Love to my ladies. I've dated a few.
Wait a minute. Did y'all hear that? She said that in a song. She said she dated a few ladies. Press play.
Take it personal, baby. I love all my ladies. Love to my ladies. I've dated a few. I did say that. I said that. It's true.
Stop. You can let it go. We going somewhere because sisters don't know what they be entertaining when they watch that stuff. From there, get Article 4. Yep. You know I put 4 on 3 different videos. My brother. It was a long day. I got 3 things on here. Number 4, number 4, number 4. I appreciate y'all, man. BT be on point. Yep. Read that.
What do we know about pornography use among women?
Oh, here we go again. Y'all probably like, damn, officer, another one? Yes, another one. Read.
Pornography use is often framed as a male phenomenon.
Uh-huh.
But as singer-songwriter Billie Eilish's statements about her pornography use since the age of 11.
Hold on. Since 11 years old, this female singer was watching pornography, not just men. Read.
Pornography use is often framed as a male phenomenon, but as singer-songwriter Billie Eilish's statements about her pornography use since the age of 11 make clear women and even young girls now make up a sizable block of pornography consumers.
So those of us that have granddaughters, daughters, little cousins, nieces, we need to watch what they are watching on their phones. Because now it said young girls is being a part of that block with the women that watch it. From there, jump down to today, however.
Today, however, a recent study found that 83% of women had ever seen pornography.
83% of women. Read.
Nearly all from online sources.
So it wasn't like somebody rolled past and had a TV and they seen it. No, from online sources. Online sources. Meaning they was watching it themselves. Read.
And that nearly a quarter viewed pornography before the age of 13.
Before 13 years old, there are women who have viewed pornography. Read.
The same study also reported that 40.8% of women surveyed use pornography for masturbation a few times a year or more.
Do y'all hear this? It's not just men. It's not a man problem. It's a nation problem. This thing is plaguing us as a nation. But we talking about the sisters because some sisters deal with this and they don't understand the serious effects of it. Read on.
9.8% of which use pornography weekly or almost daily.
Daily. You have a problem. And remember, it's not, oh, it's just the so-called regular stuff. You heard what women say they watch. So imagine what you heard and they say they watch that stuff daily. It's like putting on socks and shoes. You put socks and shoes on every day. Except for if it's summertime, sisters like to have their feet out. You put on shoes and socks every day. It's people that watch, they're so addicted they have to watch it every day. Daily addict. Read.
In another study, 60.2% of women reported consuming pornography in the past month. In light of the dramatic increase of pornography consumption among women, what are the potential impacts on their health and well-being?
So you could drop it from there. Hold on, let me see something. Issue 1, issue 2. Oh, let's read these bullet points. We're going to just read the bullet points. Read issue number 1.
Issue number 1, sexual objectification, body dissatisfaction, and body insecurity during partnered sex.
That's one issue. These are the impacts, the issues. Issue number 2.
Issue number 2, relationship damage.
Relationship damage. That is what porn does. Read. Number 3.
Issue number 3, sexist beliefs.
Okay, read.
Issue number 4, sexual violence and victimization.
Who is this article about? Women. Stop messing with the porn, sisters. Drop that. Let's get Psalms 19 and 3. Psalms 19 and 13.
The book of Psalms, chapter 19, verse 13. Keep back thy servant also.
Oh, you know what? Video 4. I know. I appreciate y'all. This damn thing say 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. The video after the article we read. Yep. Now wait, before we play this, some of y'all seen this video before from another class that I did. Whole Psalms 19 and 13. We gonna come back there. Yep.
I started watching porn when I was like 6.
Really?
Young.
That's very young.
Yeah, very young. It was very accessible. Like, I remember magazines, VHS tapes, white CDs. You know, the little white CDs with the, it's just white. You know what I'm talking about?
Big booty.
But then, no, it don't even got nothing on it.
But you know it's a porn?
It's just blank. That's how you know. You don't got nothing. You just pop it in. It's like, yeah, so it was very accessible. But I found myself, like, masturbating's really...
You said it was successful. Like who? You 6 years old, so who?
My parents had it.
Okay.
My dad, they weren't.
As I said before, the first time I pulled this out, you parents should not have no porn on your person. If you got grandchildren, nieces, nephews, your own children, little children, especially at that. She saw that at 6. And whose fault was that? The parents. And if you watch the interview in its entirety, her mother and her father had it. So understand what you put your children in jeopardy of, getting exposed to stuff that they not supposed to. Let it play on. It should be real short.
It's really.
You said it was successful. Like who? You 6 years old, so who?
My parents had it.
Okay.
My dad, they weren't together when I was, as far as I remember, but my dad, he had VHS tapes. He had the computer. My mom, she had CDs and just all types of magazines and shit. It was crazy. Mm-hmm. But when I first nutted for the first time, I tried to show my sisters and they couldn't do it. And I was like, damn.
Y'all
niggas,
see this?
I guess it's just.
This is what happens when you are exposed to things that you're not supposed to. Some of y'all seen the video, and just like I did with what we did with the singer, we looked at her some years prior, and then we see she making songs talking about what? Dealing with who? Women. We gonna see her in a recent video. Get Psalms 19 and 13. We're gonna hit these couple scripts. Then we're gonna hit them last 3 videos. We're gonna see her in a recent video.
The book of Psalms, chapter 19, verse 13.
Read.
Keep back thy servant also from presumptuous sins.
This is what we need to be praying. You sisters need to be praying to God. This right here. Keep your servant back from presumptuous sins. These are things that you do intentionally. Lord, keep me back from doing things like that. Read.
Let them not have dominion over me.
Read that again.
Let them not have dominion over me.
Don't let that porn have dominion over you. Right. Whatever else it may be. Tonight we talking about pornography. That should not have dominion over you, reign over you, rule over you, control over you. Read.
Then shall I be upright.
Then will I be upright. Then will you be upright. Read.
And I shall be innocent from the great transgression.
And then you will be innocent from the great transgression. We don't want to transgress against God. You are transgressing against God when you watch this stuff. Matthew 5 and 28 says, look not upon a woman to lust. In this case, sisters is watching videos lusting. And you think that, again, we talking to the women tonight. The women to say they looking at the man in the video. Oh, no, 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 no. You opening yourself up to a whole nother spirit. If you ain't seen from these videos and the information coming out, it's going to pervert your mind to how you looking at something else. From there, Psalms 119 and 133. Psalms 119 and 133.
The book of Psalms, chapter 119, verse 133.
Uh-huh.
Order my steps in thy word.
Uh-huh.
And let not any iniquity have dominion over me.
This is what we need to pray, that the Most High orders our steps in his what? Read that again.
Order my steps in thy word.
You want the Lord to order your steps in his commandments. Read.
And let not any iniquity have
It said any. The iniquity we talking about tonight, brothers and sisters, is porn. You need to be praying that God don't let that thing have dominion over you. Read.
And let not any iniquity have dominion over me.
1 Peter 2, verse 11. I pray we getting through some skulls tonight. I hope sisters understand they cannot keep playing with this thing. They cannot keep entertaining this evil substance called porn.
The book of 1 Peter, chapter 2, verse 11.
Brothers, you got 100 classes. Sisters, you better take heed to this class, because we're going to show you the sister now. We're going to show you in a minute. Read.
Dearly beloved, I beseech you as strangers and pilgrims, abstain from fleshly lusts, which war against the soul.
Read it again.
Dearly beloved, I beseech you as strangers and pilgrims, abstain from fleshly lusts, which war against the soul.
When you abstain from something, you stay away from it. You need to stay away from this pornography because it is warring against your soul. That pornography is destroying you. This is what's happening to you sisters that watch this. When you watch that, you're opening yourself up to demons. You heard these women talking about they like watching videos with men together. They like watching videos with women together. Interracial, all this crazy stuff. Because they open themselves up to demons. Things that you wouldn't even think about had you not laid your eyes on that stuff. What they say, the eyes is the what? Window to the soul. From there, get Luke 6:43. You putting yourself in danger and don't even know it. Now you having thoughts and you wondering why you up here crying, wondering why you thinking about stuff like that. Because you watching something perverted. What you think your thoughts gonna be? Your thoughts gonna be perverted. Luke 6:43.
The book of Luke, chapter 6, verse 43. For a good tree bringeth not forth corrupt fruit. Neither doth a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. For every tree is known by his own fruit. For of thorns men do not gather figs, nor of a bramble bush gather they grapes.
So you're going to corrupt yourself. Once you corrupt yourself, ain't nothing good coming from it. Y'all understand that? Christ gave an analogy. A corrupt tree can't bring forth good fruit. You corrupting yourself by watching this pornography. And it's a slow corruption. Very slow. Like how you watch metal rust out. The metal don't completely just rust out overnight. It take time. Water got to keep hitting it. All type of condensation. All type of oil got to leak on it. All type of the elements got to keep hitting this metal until it eventually rust out and break apart. And that's what's going to happen to you because you watching this pornography. From there, now let's get... Okay, we watched that one. Now let's get, that one right there. And whole Romans chapter 1:23. Whole Romans. Let's make sure we got that at that time stamp.
DJ, you go crazy.
And this the last, hold on. This the last video before the video before that last video. And hopefully this scare the hell out of sisters, that last one. So right here, this is the same sister showing you her upbringing. We are corrupt, and this may be some of your upbringing. Some of you may have had this upbringing. But watching porn is just reopening the door for old spirits that you deal with. Press play.
You might be traumatized from watching porn at such a young age?
Not traumatized. Groomed, but not traumatized.
Okay.
I don't think that kids should be watching porn for sure. Because it can mold the mind crazy. Like, I didn't even know sex was for the pleasure of females. I thought that sex when I was growing up was just for men to please men. So I learned like at 22 that that's not how it goes. But yeah, I don't think it traumatized me. I was molested though, but I don't think porn traumatized me. A lot of other things traumatized me on that path.
Okay, so like what? If it wasn't porn, was it the
Well, the first time I had sex with a grown man, and I got pregnant the first time I had sex, and then I had to get an abortion. So that kind of me up. That was like started my downhill spiral.
So stop right there. Some of y'all seen this video before. I'm showing you it's a progression. So that was the background. That was the background of the sister. All of these things play a role and they mold and they shape us. Y'all got to understand this now. I know we ain't go all the way there. For sake of time, let's get to the last one. Now remember, let's hold it before we play it. Hold it. Remember the videos that we seen with her. Remember everything that we watched and read up until this point. It's a spirit that y'all entertaining, sisters, when you watch that. It's the same thing with brothers when they watch it. Okay, same sister. Remember what the scripture said. He that thinketh he standeth, take heed, lest he fall. You say, no, not me. Keep watching it and see what happened. Press play.
Forgive me. No, it's
That's
not
why,
personal.
mind you, this is the only 20 verses one I ever went to.
Oh,
So,
special?
Yeah.
Let me smell the pussy again. Just one more time.
Stop right there. Put her face in another woman's crotch. Romans 1.
The book of Romans, chapter 1.
How do people end up with these type of thoughts? How do people get to the point where they think about doing that type of stuff? Pornography. We could lie. We could say, oh, no, it's this and that. No, ain't nobody born with them thoughts in their head. When no woman in her right mind think to smell another woman behind like that. But if you're watching videos that show it, if you're watching videos that depict it, and you constantly watch it day and night, week after week, what's going to eventually happen to you? Desensitized. It's not that bad. It's not that vile. There's nothing wrong with it. Romans 1:23.
The book of Romans, chapter 1, verse 23.
Y'all better leave that porn alone.
And change the glory of the uncorruptible God into an image made like to corruptible man. And to birds and four-footed beasts.
What is this saying? It's saying people started to worship other things other than God. So we're going to see the progression. You start putting something else over God. Something is more important than God. Keep reading. Let's read a little faster. 26 is the point.
And change the glory of the uncorruptible God into an image made like to corruptible man.
So idolatry, worshiping other gods, leads to something. Let's see what it leads to. Read.
And to birds and four-footed beasts and creeping things.
These is the statues and images they was praying to. Read on.
Wherefore God also gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves.
You dishonor your own body when you watch that porn. You dishonor your own body when you sit up there, you touching yourself and you watching these vile videos. Read.
Who changed the truth of God into a lie and worshiped and served the creature more than the creator.
People started to worship the sun, moon, stars, and God made all of that. But it said God gave them up to their own vile affections. You don't want to serve me? Okay, go into your lust full blown and see what happened. Read.
Who is blessed forever. Amen.
Read on.
For this cause, God gave them up unto vile affections.
What kind of vile affections?
For even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature.
Prophet, let me get Ephraim. What is that saying right there? What happened to the women as a result of this? What did the women start doing? Lesbianism. Start dealing with other women. That is what that porn will lead you to. That's another demon that you open yourself up to. That is what it leads to, sisters. You telling yourself, oh no, you looking at a man. It's the same thing with the brothers. They say they looking at the woman when they watch the video, but what is your eyes really looking at? Do y'all understand that? You exposing yourself to stuff you shouldn't be exposing yourself to. And the more you keep chipping at that rock, it's going to break. Now you doing stuff like this, stuff you thought you never would do. You could put up some of them images. Go ahead. You could put up some of them images. Stuff like that. That's a boy. That's a boy. But what happened? Opening yourself up to things that you shouldn't. Jump down to verse 28.
Verse 28. And even as they did not like to retain God in their knowledge.
So you say, I'd rather watch my videos more than that class. I know what the Bible say, but this is more important. I'd rather watch my disgusting video. I could be amongst the brothers and sisters where I won't have those thoughts to watch that stuff, but I'm going to say my stomach hurt and I'm going to stay home. And you know you don't need to be by yourself. You know you the last person that need to be by themselves. But you do it anyway. Read.
God gave them over to a reprobate mind.
God will give you over to that reprobate mind where you're void of judgment. You can't see what you watching is vile and disgusting. You making excuses for why you watch it. It's not that bad, even though we've seen it destroy lives. Read.
To do those things which are not convenient.
To do things which are not convenient. What you just seen the sister do in the video. And she probably didn't think she would ever get to that point. Take heed, lest ye fall. Last scripture, 2 Thessalonians 2:10. All we can do is warn you. We see that porn is detrimental. Porn destroys souls. And you got people still play with that thing. And there's ways to overcome it if you want to. Last scripture, 2 Thessalonians 2, verse 10. We're going to read 10 and 11. But if you say to hell with God, this is what God going to do with you.
The book of 2 Thessalonians, chapter 2 and verse 10.
You choose the nasty video over God. You say, I know it's wrong, but I'm going to keep watching it. I know it's wrong, but I'm going to keep my little subscription on the side. Read.
And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved.
Receive the love of the truth. You don't want to receive the love of the truth. You don't want to receive God's laws. You don't want to receive God's correction. God is trying to purge you, change you, make you that Proverbs 31. Make you that righteous mother, wife. But you say you don't want that. I want my videos. Same thing for the brothers. God is trying to make you into that God, that image in his own likeness. But you say, I don't want that. I want my drugs. I want my weed. I want my fornication. I want my videos more than God. Okay, read on.
Because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved.
The purpose is so you might be saved. But you say to hell with that. This is more important than God. Read.
And for this cause, God shall send them strong delusion that they should believe a lie.
Okay. You don't want to hear me? Go ahead. Go full-fledged into that madness. Now you're destroyed. Look at this. Look at this. This is where that stuff leads. Nobody's born like that. Nobody's born like that. Our minds are perverted by these videos and all this stuff they got out here. This is what happens when your mind get perverted. Look at all of that. So we need to stay in the Bible, brothers and sisters. So that's going to conclude the class. I pray this puts some fear in us, and we understand that we cannot entertain this stuff in this world. This stuff is set up to destroy you. Like it's saying Micah 10, this place is polluted and it will destroy you. All right? Hey, you see that QR code right there? Support the Booster Club. All right? I'm Officer Asa, 12 tribes worldwide.